This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. Recent thunderstorms that have hit West Virginia have brought flooding rain and damaging wind. But what makes a thunderstorm?
The most basic type of thunderstorm is a single cell storm. This forms when you have very weak wind shear, so there's not a lot of strong wind moving around in the atmosphere.
That story and more coming up this West Virginia Morning. Support for West Virginia Morning is provided by Hope Gas, committed to the growth and development of West Virginia to strengthen the community. Information at wvisforhope.com. A middle school in Lewis County is getting a $400,000 advance so they can get students back in the classroom following severe flood damage. Eric Douglas has more.
Lewis County was one of the hardest hit in the July 21st storms that flooded central West Virginia. Robert L. Bland Middle School sustained significant structural damage during the flooding and cannot safely reopen for in-person learning. Governor Patrick Morsi announced Monday he is advancing $400,000 from the Civil Contingent Fund to help Lewis County Schools temporarily relocate the school to West Virginia University's Jackson's Mill. A statement from the governor's office said the state expects FEMA to reimburse the state for the expense. The temporary location will allow approximately 400 students to resume in-person learning after Labor Day. Both Lewis and Upshur counties were approved for major disaster declarations earlier this month. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, this is Eric Douglas in Charleston.
A chemical recycling operation in the Kanawha Valley is raising more than pollution concerns from observers. Chris Schultz has more.
Clean Seas West Virginia received last week a construction permit from the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection for a plastics recycling facility. Tom Torres is chief of staff at the Ohio River Valley Institute, a nonprofit Appalachian think tank. With more than $15 million in state loans for the facility, Torres says the publicly available sources on the company's finances raise questions about their ability to develop, maintain, and expand the facility in Bell.
Has it secured the financing needed to develop the facility? Is it on track to meet the employment requirements tied to their $1.75 million loan from the state? And when the facility will actually come online, which has been a bit of a moving target.
Torres says overall, the industry of chemically recycling plastics has encountered challenges getting off the ground or maintaining operations. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Chris Schultz in Morgantown.
As West Virginians clean up after another round of severe weather this weekend, the West Virginia Emergency Management Division urges those affected to fill out the official disaster damage survey. That includes individuals and households, businesses, and local and county governments. The survey allows state officials to track and report damages and can aid in applications for federal relief or disaster declarations. It is not an application for an immediate or financial assistance. The state needs reports of damages from the August 16th storms. Residents affected by previous severe weather are encouraged to apply for federal assistance from FEMA. For more information, including a link to the survey, visit our website at wvpublic.org. This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. It's 7:53. Areas of fog and lingering showers this morning, clearing in the afternoon, high temperatures in the 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the 60s. Sunshine tomorrow with highs in the 80s. It's thunderstorm season, but not all of them are the same. For the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, Bill Burton and meteorologist Tawana Andrew break down what we know and what we don't about the climate and weather in the region. This week, they examine different types of thunderstorms.
Today's topic is all about thunderstorms.
It is that magical time of the year where those things can pop up seemingly out of nowhere. And there's different kinds of thunderstorms, too. That's what you're going to take us through today?
Yeah, so we'll talk about the different types of thunderstorms, which can be classified based on whether there's rotation, whether there's updrafts or downdrafts close or far away from each other, or even just the appearance of the thunderstorm itself. So the most basic type of thunderstorm is a single cell storm. This forms when you have very weak wind shear, so there's not a lot of strong wind moving around in the atmosphere, and you have rising air that creates that thunderstorm and allows for precipitation to develop within the cloud until that precipitation becomes too heavy for the updraft, causing it to fall. And in that type of situation, you usually have light winds and not a lot of atmospheric energy, which allows the precipitation to fall within or near the updraft, and that weakens the storm. So a single cell storm typically lasts about 30 to 45 minutes. It can produce some small hail and it can produce some gusty winds, but those winds will remain below severe limits, which is 58 miles per hour.
Okay, so it can come and go quickly, but still do some damage occasionally.
Exactly. So kind of like what we see during the summer months where they just pop in the afternoon and then fall apart not too long after.
Okay.
But some of those stronger summer storms are pulse thunderstorms, which is a type of single cell storm. So it's not usually severe, but it will form when you have a little bit more atmospheric energy available. So on those more hot, humid days. And with that extra energy in place, that actually allows for more intense and greater amounts of precipitation. So these storms can produce strong winds, usually reaching speeds of less than 70 miles per hour. So that will put it on the low end of a severe thunderstorm warning. They can also produce small to moderate sized hail. So this is the one where you'll get like the pea-sized, the nickel-sized hail in the summer months. And in some cases, you'll even get a weak tornado, EF0, EF1, out of a pulse thunderstorm like this.
Okay.
And then the most common type of thunderstorm is a multicellular cluster of storms. So basically, just think of all the thunderstorms gathering around together and hanging out. That's basically what that is.
I think that's a new Marvel movie, isn't it?
It's like the Avengers with thunderstorms. Yes,
exactly.
Basically that. Yeah. So these clusters consist of multiple storms that are in different stages of their life cycles, and they can persist for hours, and they kind of just move together as one unit. So like the Avengers, but in their lemming form, I guess. So these types of storms can last for several hours, yes, especially when you have consistent rising air leading to new updrafts, so basically creating more energy for additional storms to form. And that rising air can be caused by factors like warm fronts, cold fronts, outflows from other storms, or even elevated terrain nearby, all can lead to that rising air.
So it's not asking, is there a thunderstorm coming? It's what kind of thunderstorm is coming? And we know these different kinds of thunderstorms now because of this edition of Science Behind the Forecast with Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Thanks for the knowledge, Tawana.
Of course.
This story was produced as part of the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, a collaboration between NPR and several public radio stations in West Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Visit the special series page under the News tab on our website to find the link to this story and more. West Virginia Morning is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Support for our news bureaus comes from Shepherd University and Marshall University School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Eric Douglas produced today's show. Listen to West Virginia Morning weekdays at 7:49 a.m. on WVPB Radio, or subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. #WV Morning. I'm Teresa Wills.